1.
Hello, and welcome to the City of Brisbane Park and Rec Commission meeting on November 9th at 6:30 p.m. Although it is 6:38, we are starting. So I'm going to read the preamble. Everybody get comfortable. This meeting is compliant with the Ralph M. Brown Act as amended by California Assembly Bill number 361, effective September 16th, 2021, providing for a public health emergency exception to the standard teleconference rules required by the Brown Act. The purpose of this is to provide a safe environment for the public, staff, and commissioners while allowing for public participation. The public may address the commission using exclusively remote public comment options. The commission may take action on any item listed in the agenda. The Park and Rec Commission meeting will be an exclusively virtual meeting. Members of the public may view the meeting by logging onto the Zoom webinar listed below or on the Comcast channel 27 and the city's YouTube channel at www.youtube.com/BrisbaneCA. The agenda material may be viewed online at www.brisbaneca.org/meetings. Join Zoom webinar at brisbane.org/park-rec-webinar. Meeting ID number 920-417-41911. Passcode is 123456. To address the commission, members of the public are encouraged to submit written comments before the meeting. Members of the public who join the Zoom webinar may address the commission in the meeting when called upon by the chairperson. Please use the chat box in Zoom to alert staff that you want to address the commission. Members of the public watching the meeting on YouTube or channel 27 may email or text comments prior to the start of the particular agenda item to the below email and text line. Email is jbondoc@brisbaneca.org. Text is to 415-519-9588. A call-in number is also available for those watching the meeting on YouTube or channel 27 for oral communications and public hearing items. Phone number for that is 1-253-215-8782. Meeting ID number 920-417-1911. After entering the meeting ID and pressing pound, simply press pound a second time to enter the meeting waiting room. No participant code is required. Please wait to call until the chairperson and/or staff announces the phone line is open. When you are let into the meeting, press *6 on your phone to unmute yourself before addressing the commission. To avoid feedback, please turn off the volume on the meeting broadcast on your TV or computer. You will still be able to hear the commission through your phone. Special assistance. If you need special assistance to participate in the meeting, please contact the Park and Rec Department at 415-508-2140 in advance of the meeting. Notification in advance of the meeting will enable the city to make reasonable arrangements to ensure accessibility to this meeting. Okay, I believe that is it. And we will continue on to the call to order. And now I guess we get a roll call.
We sure do. Starting with you, Chairperson Greenlee.
Here.
Commissioner Davis.
Here.
Commissioner Kern.
Present.
Commissioner Sewell.
Here.
Commissioner Sims.
Here.
Thank you.
Okay, roll call is done. And now for the adoption of agenda. Deletions, additions, or changes. Does anyone have any changes to the agenda as it's written here? Anybody?
Nope.
Okay,
No.
so moving on, we'll go to the approval of minutes. Do we have any comments about the minutes? Does anyone want to approve them?
Lisa, we need a motion and a second to adopt the agenda.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, adopt the agenda.
I move that we
motion.
adopt it.
Then I will second.
Okay, so the agenda is adopted.
Oh, not quite yet, Lisa.
Not quite yet. Oh my gosh, I'm flying along.
I know it's exciting, but let's do our roll call for this one. To adopt tonight's agenda, Chairperson Greenlee,
Aye.
Commissioner Davis,
Aye.
Commissioner Kern,
Aye.
Commissioner Sewell,
Aye.
and Commissioner Sims.
Aye.
Thank you.
Now can I go for the approval of minutes?
Go for it.
Okay, so here are the approval of minutes for September 14th.
No, August 12th.
Yeah, I'm looking. Why does it say September 14th on the screen?
Should say
Oh,
October
that's,
12th.
I'm sorry, October 12th. I'm reading the, never mind. Okay, October 12th. I'm reading then it says approval of minutes September 14th. That was in those minutes. Okay, do I have an approval?
I move that we approve the minutes of the previous meeting. Need a second?
Mhm.
I
I can second
second.
that. Okay. Julie, all
Okay,
yours.
so I move to approve them. Can we have roll call?
Let's roll call it. Chairperson Greenlee,
Aye.
Commissioner Davis,
Aye.
Commissioner Kern,
Aye.
Commissioner Sewell,
Aye.
Commissioner Sims.
Aye.
Thank you.
Okay, item number 5, citizen communications. Do we have any citizen communications?
None tonight.
Okay, so move on to item 6. We have a presentation for our senior programs and services.
We do. So in keeping with our practice of providing presentations to the commission on various programs and services, tonight we have a presentation from one of our recreation coordinators, Sarah Nahas, who's going to present to you on senior programs and services. So I will go ahead and turn it over to her and she will share her screen.
We can't hear you, Sarah.
There we go.
There we go.
Sorry. I was trying to unmute and was accidentally changing slides.
Oops.
Okay, so we are gonna go through the weekly activities and then a couple of special extras. So every Monday, we get the donated lunches from Samaritan House still. Now we're up to 75 meals about a week. And 12 homes are delivered. Some of the homes have 2 meals or 3. And they used to be delivered by Mr. Dan Sorrentino because he volunteered a lot of time. And now we have Paul Ruska. I think that's how you pronounce it. So he delivers, and he actually does all 12, 3 out of 4 weeks a month. So we're really grateful to have them driving around the meals. And then on Mondays, we also do a stitch and chat. So the seniors are able to crochet or knit various things. I know Miss Teresa really likes crocheting, so it's one of their favorite activities. Oh, Paul Buscal, sorry. I got Teresa's making sure I have all my information accurate. So then on Tuesdays, we have Agile Aging with Dr. Abney, the chiropractor in town. And they get about 7 to 10 participants. The class is meant to help with fall prevention and just overall balance and health. And then we also do a movie or film later in the afternoon. They sometimes will stream like a show if it's a series for multiple weeks, or they'll pick if they have a favorite movie or someone really wants to watch something. It just kind of varies. And so if you ever are walking past the sunrise room and you see the windows all covered up, it's probably a movie day, or it's left for movie day because there's lots of wonderful light in the room. So we use some of those trash bags to block the light, but it's not closed, it's just a movie happening. And then Wednesdays, we do our senior club lunch, which was relatively recently taken over by our department. So it had primarily been ran through the senior club with community members and seniors in town. And I think as of January, I want to say, we started getting the meals and making sure that all of the seniors have lunch every Wednesday. And then after lunch, they do bingo with fresh food as prizes. So we'll get like fresh fruits and vegetables, eggs. And then the first Wednesday of every month, Jeff and Ricardo, the other recreation coordinators, will barbecue, and it's usually very delicious. This last week we had tacos. So, and I think the one before that was the Oktoberfest theme. You saw pictures of that. And then one of our preschool teachers, Miss Iris, does arts and crafts on Wednesday afternoon. And it's taken some building momentum of that program, but the seniors love it. Whenever Miss Iris is not there, they have no interest in coming, or they'll work on stuff that she's already started with them. So they absolutely love her, and they seem to really enjoy the things that they make. So they usually are like useful items or home decor things. These are like window catchers. And then on Thursdays have switched a bit. So every Thursday morning we do, Miss Shirley has art class. That class is always full, and there's a waiting list. So they do mostly watercolor works. Some of the art was shown at Day in the Park. If you were able to attend, they were on display. And then in the summer and spring, like earlier in the year, we did trivia challenges every Thursday afternoon. And more recently, like this fall, we started Get Appy with Peninsula Family Services. And so the two people with dark hair in the photo, they come and help the seniors with any specific tech help that they needed. So they'll bring in their laptops, tablets, phones, and then they'll also go through like a class of, and the first one I sat in on was like ways to avoid getting scammed online, and like very helpful things that even I was like, oh, I didn't know that. That's a good tip. So Appy has been pretty amazing. And then in this photo, those three seniors received free tablets through this program, and they help keep them up and make sure that they're being used as intended, and they have these resources to function. Love that. And then Fridays is bingo, and we are going to have bingo this Friday, even though it's Veterans Day. We've got a lot of questions about that. So they get about 18 to 24 participants every week. The sunrise room is very full with that many people. They sit around, they get prizes for blackouts, and then I think it's kind of potluck style, it's not official, but sometimes they'll be like, oh, I'm gonna bring my chili, or they have a special fruit from home that they wanna share, they'll cut it up. I believe Tom, your mother-in-law, brings this applesauce. It's very delicious. And then by request, mostly there are blood pressure checks every second and fourth week of the month. We haven't had many requests lately, so we haven't done that in a while, but if people ask for it, Teresita, one of our seniors, is a retired nurse, and so she performs this. And then food donations. So this is something that was very surprising to me, even after working with the seniors for like a couple months, is how much food and like just donations in general come through the Sunrise Room. And I think it's forgotten a lot because it doesn't have the same tracking the way that like maybe our lunch programs do. But Sue Cochran, Danny Lim with Rocket Foods, and Jason Noonan with the Marin Food Bank will bring multiple times a week like boxes of food, like so much that I know Teresa spends a lot of time trying to get rid of it sometimes. So it's amazing that it's a variety of things, between things that are like fresh fruits and vegetables. Sometimes there's flowers, frozen meals, like anything that you can think of. We've kind of gone through them, and the seniors are just like itching to get what they can. It's a pretty amazing. Oh, Teresa just told me they had a lot of rice and bananas today. So I think it's one of the amazing parts of the Sunrise Room that gets overlooked a lot. So I really wanted to highlight it. And then in this photo is actually Teresita, the retired nurse, and Denny. And then trips and events. So the first one actually featured Tom's kids, the youth musical guests. So Adela, her grandchildren, her Tom's children, they came with a friend and they performed, I think it was violin for the seniors, and it was really sweet. They loved it. They did the Granton Casino road trip in September. We did senior portraits also at the end of September, which this is one example. We got about 5 people who wanted to do it, but they seemed really happy about it. My main goal for the portraits was to get them to smile, and I think we captured it for most of them. And then we had karaoke at the end of October, and that was our first time doing karaoke with the seniors. I think it was definitely a success. So we learned a lot from it, and we're going to make improvements for our one coming up in a couple weeks. And then the next trip that's available is the Winter Choral Concert, which is on December 12th. And they can sign up for that now online or with Teresa at the Sunrise Room. And that is it for my presentation. If you have questions.
Well done, Sarah. You're always super busy and you're a pleasure to work with. So thank you so much. I do have 2 questions. Regarding Get Appy, so how did the seniors get the tablets? You said they were provided tablets. So are they on loan to the seniors? Or
No, so the Peninsula Family Services gets a certain number of tablets to give to the people that they work with. So in Brisbane, we were given 3 as part of the, I think it's just part of the program. I think it's from the county or donation.
Got it.
Specifics, but they're for them to keep, and like they have to go through the process of like making sure that they come to the classes and learn how to use them. But other than that, it's their tablets.
That's amazing. And then my second part of that question is, do other seniors that are not part of the tablet program attend those sessions just with whatever tech help that they need?
Yes, the tablets were actually given out at the end of the session.
Okay, got it.
Well, they kind of like assess, and we were with Teresa, who needed them the most, and some extra support. But anyone had their laptops, they have flip phones that they need help with.
Got it.
Kinds of stuff.
Okay, very cool program. Thank you.
I have some questions. Do you have to live in Brisbane to be a member of the seniors?
No, you do not. So anyone can come to the Sunrise Room as just like there's always coffee and treats when we're open. The arts and crafts with Miss Iris. Those are all, you can just come in. The senior lunch for Senior Club on Wednesdays is a monthly payment. And so we do charge a non-resident rate. So it's 20% extra for non-residents.
So what do you charge?
So right now it's 10 for residents and then 12 for non-residents.
Okay, write that down real quick. And this food, the food donations, how do you let people know that there is actually food there that seniors could actually go get?
I don't think there's like one specific way. I feel like like when I even noticed it, they'd all just kind of know. Like one person would happen. It's just kind of word of mouth.
Because I live next door and I don't know it's there.
Yeah. Oh,
and I take walks, and and I know a lot of people don't know that there's food there. Interesting.
I mean, that's definitely like Teresa says she calls some people and texts some, like the ones that she knows regularly come. But we don't really, like I said, it's not something that we've talked about or advertised a lot. It seems like it's
okay.
That's definitely something that we can done.
Okay, thanks.
And Sarah, just one question for me. I agree, this all just sounds really great. Is there anything like that you think that the seniors are really interested in that we don't have now, or that we should be looking for, or anything that you hear about that we could do more of, or look for better or new bingo prizes, anything like that, that we should add to our list of ways to be helpful?
not specifically. I think we like they'll say I don't know, and then we like suggest something. But we try to accommodate what we can. They did ask for more trips again, so that's why we brought those back, and they were just itching to get back to the lunches. I think lockdown was especially hard because they didn't have people, and it was the most dangerous for them to go talk to people. So they seem to really just enjoy having a place to go to talk to other people.
Thank you.
Yeah, I would like to try and figure out and try and work with you guys on how we could get the word out to broaden the base of the seniors, because I've heard complaints that it is kind of a club of people who do this, and then people who try and kind of break into the club feel like not that welcome, or not that included. And I would like to somehow do more public announcing about some of these programs, and especially about the food, because I do work on food with the food bank on Saturdays for the city. I've always done that on Saturday mornings. And I know that food makes a big difference in people's budget, and a big difference in their diet of getting fresh food. And groceries are so expensive right now. I think that it would be super helpful. So let's try and brainstorm how we can get the word out that this is a program that anyone can participate in if they're a senior in Brisbane, or any of these programs.
Yeah, I think the only like I think that's a great idea. The only challenge I'm hearing is that they tell us last minute when they are coming, and we don't know what to expect. So I think if there's a way we could get the word out, like you are welcome to come look, but we don't know for sure what will be there.
Right. And that's true of any of these giveaway things. But I think if people know to just come by, maybe just coming by and checking in, they find out about other programs too. I just want to be more welcoming to some of the seniors that maybe aren't in the loop.
Yeah, and it's like in such a central part of Brisbane, like everybody walks by. I know one of Teresa and my favorite parts is all the dogs that we get. Lots of dog guests. I think she knows most of the dog names of the ones that walk by, and there are lots of treats for them too.
Wait, I can stop in with my dog?
Yes. Oh, it's very welcomed. Yes.
Oh, okay. Well, look at that. Okay, thank you, Sarah.
But good luck walking by without your dog getting excited.
Great.
Should we look at doing something on Nextdoor about that, or, where we give information also for people who want to donate? That could be a way to draw a little more attention to it. I also wonder, in terms of expanding the circle, if there's something where, like, we incentivize some of the seniors to bring a friend.
Yeah.
Because, then they'd automatically feel welcome if that were their friend coming. Just expand. I don't know, because I hadn't heard that, but that's an interesting thing. And I think it's hard to break into new circles.
Well, I just think if you had like even a sandwich board on that corner, that said bread today, or vegetables this afternoon, or donations Monday, Wednesday, Friday, that people could drive by and see that the senior center is where you go, and you might not know, and it might be inconsistent, but people could at least walk by and ask, or drive by.
That's a great idea. Like just a sign.
Just a sign, I know the city has sandwich boards, don't they?
We have A-frames. I just got a notice from Teresa that we have actually gotten an influx of some new members. I think we are trying to shift the culture as well. We don't want people to feel excluded at all. And I think that was like the non-resident question that came up a lot. And I noticed that was a big touchy subject. But yeah, everyone's welcome. And that's definitely something that we're on board with continuing to change. And like, I don't know if the friends thing will work. I don't know, because I I don't know how many senior, like I think a lot of, especially ones that are more isolated, they don't necessarily have friends or have friends close by.
Yeah.
But I think, yeah, it's a tricky demographic to reach because technology isn't always an easy thing to use. And, we have flyers, but
That's why I think a physical sign, just as
Yeah.
you're driving by, it's right there at the corner. Anybody else have any ideas?
I do.
Bingo and
good.
bananas.
Okay,
banana.
let's hear the
Uh,
idea.
Okay, as a senior, let me tell you a couple of things. Number one, we're not as a technology challenged as everybody thinks. Certain groups, some are, some aren't. There is a way to let people know. Number two, I have walked outside to go for a walk, and I've seen the food there, and I've seen people in SUVs that are not seniors pulling up and taking the food. And I thought that was supposed to be for the seniors, but none of my business, not my field to watch. And I just think there has to be a way to let people know that, hey, there's something down there, because a lot of us still cook. We still exchange recipes. We're not out in the field somewhere. And I kind of feel like there's a condescending attitude, in a way. Having grown up here and been a little girl, a young woman, a middle-aged woman, and now a senior. There's kind of a condescending attitude about, oh, we'll put out a sandwich board. I know you mean well, but it's kind of insulting, to be honest with you.
Okay,
Okay. And there is a way to figure it out. I'm sure Teresa will figure it out. She'll figure out a way to let, people know. And I wanted to know about, whether you had to be a citizen, because I know a couple people that are in South San Francisco and they don't have anywhere to go to. The Elks is burned down. And I guess that's where some of the women went, because they had, a lot of craft fairs and things like that. And that's why I asked about whether you had to be a citizen, because I know some people there that, they're not a citizen of Brisbane. And I like having more people around, to be honest with you. So that's why I asked that.
Trudy, what do you think about next door as a place to just announce when we're
You
having
know what?
stuff?
I'll have to ask some of the people that I know that, that's how we communicate, or even
Yeah.
just residents of Brisbane. You'd be surprised how many people,
yes.
and I could even go on there because, some people talk to me that, may not know Teresa or know her, but, feel uncomfortable or something. So I could even put it out, hey,
Yeah.
there's going to be here this day or something.
Because
But
I
we
see a
still
lot
cook,
of that
we still
stuff
do
on-
stuff.
Yeah, I see a lot of that stuff on next door, and that's why I think it's
Yeah.
helpful, because then you
Yeah,
can
because I see it in
it.
Visitation Valley a lot.
Yeah.
I don't
Mhm.
know why I always follow Visitation Valley.
I know I get notices from Visitation Valley.
Yeah,
Like, no, I want to hear Brisbane.
me
know?
too.
If I may,
Hey, Lisa. Oh, sorry.
Yeah.
Go
go
ahead.
ahead, Frank.
Hey, Lisa, two ideas. Maybe we include a flyer or a reminder with the lunches as they're being distributed. And then my second idea there is, like, I'd be willing to volunteer if there was food there and a senior wasn't able to get there to get the food. I mean, we could start like a mini program where they're like, oh, rice and bananas, I'll take one of each. And then, I personally would volunteer to help like distribute that, because, that way that we eliminate the mobility problem. So I don't know, that's just a thought.
That's
I like that
great
thought.
idea. That's a
I
great.
like that. Mm-hmm.
In that same vein, Frank, the city does have a relationship with Brisbane Village Helping Hands that does just that, and helping kind of homebound seniors with their needs. But that would fit certainly directly into that model. But the volunteerism is great. That's the spirit of Brisbane, right? So the culture continues. But I think this is a fabulous conversation. I would love to bring this to the senior subcommittee and have the subcommittee work with staff to strategize about how we promote senior programs and how we cast a wider net to get the word out there and really meet the needs of the residents. So I definitely think this is something that the senior subcommittee could tackle in the first part of the new year with staff and develop some strategies around that. We're also beginning to piece together the next activity guide. So that's another opportunity to kind of promote our programs within that and incorporate some of those kind of key informational items into the upcoming editions of the Star, which go to every home in town. So lots of opportunities here, and I'm still open to the conversation, but I would be remiss if we didn't acknowledge Teresa Madrigal. Those of you that don't know Teresa, she is a pillar of our senior program. She has been with the city for more than 25 years, and she works so closely and so diligently with our seniors, and through COVID was making regular phone calls to seniors to check in on them. And so we're very fortunate to have her, and she's very hardworking. So I wanted to make sure that we gave her a shout out tonight. And yeah, so I'll leave with that.
She often has to work on the holidays, which is why we are having bingo on Friday. So
Oh,
it's
okay.
wonderful, and that's why she's listening in and letting me know updates.
Oh, that's great. That's great. All right. Well, that is a wonderful update on that. And I think I would really like to hear back from the senior subcommittee about some new ideas and what staff comes up with, because I think we've got a great program and it just needs to spread the love, you know. But I also know that like really good senior programs can draw people in from out of town. I know some seniors that go over to San Bruno's Senior Center
Mhm. Oh,
and
they
have
got a great one.
and have lunch over there. Yeah, great. Like $3 for lunch. And, you know, they have lots of activities. So, you know, if we could have a senior center that other people want to go to, I think that only benefits everybody, you know.
I'll just add a quick tidbit. So with our senior trips, enrollment and registration has been a little bit slow, but Nicole has been working with other neighboring agencies that do conduct similar senior trips to create more socialization for the seniors that are participating. For example, if they're going to, you know, the choral concert in the city, and the San Carlos senior group is doing the same thing, we'll try to coordinate to have more social opportunities for seniors beyond kind of their immediate circle in town. So
That sounds great.
Yeah.
Okay. Anybody else have any ideas or comments on this?
Can I just ask one more question? To go on an outing, does it cost money then?
Yeah.
And is that fairly reasonable? Like, are some seniors not going because they can't afford it?
Yeah.
Because
How
I
much
do.
is the choral trip? I mean, what was it, $85?
So the choral trip was 15. That was
Oh,
actually our
50.
Oh,
lowest
that's
price.
good.
But that's just keeping into mind the costs of travel. I mean, that's a lot cheaper than what it would be even if we had a bus. But it's one right now that we are using a van. But if we've been telling seniors, if there's a wide amount of interest, that we would then get a bus and accommodate those who are interested. But we just haven't really seen the numbers that we were anticipating, which is why we're looking to do some partnership with some neighboring cities to still be able to offer the programs, even if it's the smaller groups. But yes, we have heard that the price has been a little bit of a challenge, and we're trying to figure that out just to see what's going to work moving forward.
Yeah, I mean, I can see that. And I can also just see, and so my in-laws have been in San Jose, and like the lunches at the library for them were just awesome. Like they went every day to the library to get lunch, and it's kind of like the sunrise room of San Jose, and to socialize, and it's very reasonable, but also did a lot of the trips. And like, I think, you know, removing those barriers, because I think getting out, especially I think of now, like with the holidays and so many like fun things happening nearby, that it would be lovely to make that possible for anyone who's interested.
Yeah. Could you, so you said the choral trip was $15. And what did I hear? 85? No.
I thought I heard 85. I thought I read 85.
There was one that was a little bit pricier, and that was to go to the city for the SF Broadway SF, and it was really nice seats. And again, it was one in my experience. I previously worked in Burlingame, and that was one that it was a hot trip. They're actually going to the same show next week and have a sold out group, but you know, for here, it wasn't necessarily a hit here. So those are just some of the things, you know, trying to figure it out. But with Teresa's help and Sarah's help, we've actually been getting some specific suggestions from the seniors that attend lunches to see, what would be worthwhile for you, and hearing it straight from them to what their
Perfect.
feedback would be for the next winter trips.
Okay, that's great. Anything else to add?
Nothing here. Thank you, Sarah.
Yeah,
Thank
thank you.
you.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you, Sarah. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay. Let's see. Old business. Do we have any old business? Nope. Okay. I guess no old business. Are we missing people? I'm looking at my,
We are.
did they drop off?
No, I think
Natalie and Renee were not able.
Natalie
to
and
join.
Renee. Renee's on a business trip, I think.
Oh, no, I know that. I'm
Yeah.
just wondering. Okay, never mind. So no old business. I'm asking for old business and getting no response.
No,
Nope.
No,
All right. How about new business? The San Mateo County Commissioners Workshop recap. Okay, that was me. So I was there and Renee was also there, but Renee can't make it here. And those were the damn notes I was looking for. Sorry. But I can remember what it was. It was a really, really nice presentation. Yeah, there it is. The San Mateo. Yeah, there you go. So we checked in. First of all, let me just say that this facility that we met in was brand spanking new and absolutely beautiful. I was green with envy with how wonderful this building was, and they were just super happy to show it to us. And just the park around it, everything new, it was wonderful. And we checked in and there was a lot of people there. How many people do you think were there?
I think we had about 50 representatives from various agencies throughout San Mateo County.
Yeah, it was great. Everybody from Palo Alto to, South San Francisco, just everybody. And it was a really nice mix of people. All of us kind of looking for solutions to many, many issues that all rec departments go through. The first speaker that we had was a wonderful guy. Yeah, what was his name? Kevin Miller. The Power of Policy Recommendations. He was wonderful. He was like your favorite football coach, just really cheering us all on to be great park and rec people and how our programs can really motivate a community. And it was very inspiring. I really loved his speech. Then we had a 10-minute break. We had great food. I'm going to say anybody who wants to go to these things in the future, yeah, wonderful food. And then the next program we had was DEI. What the heck is that? And that was all about diversity, equity, and inclusion. It was given by a woman who had a really unique perspective on disabilities and inclusion methods, and just looking through that telescope or looking through that lens of inclusion in lots of different areas. And it was very enlightening and really, really inspiring in a way that we normally don't think about. Our rec departments, a lot of times we don't think about people who might feel excluded and why they might feel excluded, or how we can be more inclusive, or how we can be more culturally sensitive. Anyways, that was a very interesting workshop, and she pointed out a lot of things that I don't think everybody always thinks about. So that was very, very good. Okay. And then current affairs, what keeps you up at night? Okay, so that was really interesting. In fact, that I do have, I don't know if you guys can see this, but what they did is they put these big giant Post-its on the wall, and they said, what keeps you up at night? And everybody was encouraged to put Post-its on different things. Okay, so funds, that was a big one for people. Like, where are we getting our funds? Equity access. Down here we had geese. People were having trouble with geese.
San Jose, it's a big issue.
It's a big issue.
Yeah.
Yeah, they were having a real hard problem. Anyways, let me put this up here. Okay, there we go. And it's falling down. See, there's more.
Bravo, Lisa, for having like visual aids. It's like
Well,
you're bringing it to us.
Well, they
Although
I mean, they were throwing these away, and these are fun.
Yeah, that's
Okay, so what keeps you up at night? Area accessibility, tree canopies, trees, park and green spaces, bikers versus hikers. Pickleball was a huge subject for people. Like, oh my God, what do we do about pickleball? Bocce court. To have a it says to have a beautiful community center. How can we get one like Burlingame?
That's what keeps me up at night. I have to say, after our tour, it's what I think about all the time.
Yeah. It's like, and this was mine. This keeps me up at night. Facilities maintenance. How do we maintain our facilities so that they're really state of the art like this? I mean, I said this, we're a small town. We don't have the deep pockets that some of these cities do. I mean, some of the programs they had, I was just really jealous. But also, people were saying, which was really nice in this presentation, was people from other cities were saying, oh yeah, we've had that issue. And let me tell you, I'll give you a call and we can talk about this because we had some great solutions. So it was really nice. I mean, I got a real reach out from a lady from South City. And she was, in other words, just making connections with people.
Yeah.
And, we just scratched the surface, but it was nice to know that a lot of these things, we're just universal in park departments. Lagoon safety, lagoon water quality. That's a big one for a lot of communities that have lagoons. And lagoons are big parts of, like they had this one park and rec department that had lagoon rentals, and part of their big rec department were boat rentals and lagoon rentals. And I was thinking, we have a marina, we could be doing stuff like this. And they're like, oh yeah, it's huge. We have people from all over the Bay Area that come there and rent boats. And it's just our aquatic stuff right on the bay. And I'm like, we have bayfront. We have bayfront property, So anyways, it just kind of opened our eyes to the possibilities of what other departments are doing. I did kind of feel like a small fish in a smaller pond, because our rec department, we have Brisbane, we have 5,000 people, as opposed to other cities that are much bigger. But it was a really interesting, and there were people reaching out to me when I was saying stuff like, how do you get funding? And people were saying, oh, well, there are county things, and there are grants that we've written, and we'd be happy to help you and happy to talk to you about it. And it's like, whoa, this is so great. I just wish there were more of us there to really follow up on all of the great information that was given out and also so freely shared. So that was wonderful. Anyways, I'm looking at some of these other topics that came up. The transparency issue, city council issues, leashed or unleashed dogs. That was a big issue. Activities for seniors, teens, activities for teens, what to do with teens. Anyways, it was such a fun event and great sharing of ideas, and I really enjoyed it. I wish I will find my notes. I will write a little report and let you know. But I think the most important thing for me was just making connections with other towns and realizing that, if we wanted to start up a lagoon program or some kind of marine rental, we could just, go over to another rec center and say, hey, how do you do it? And, there it is. So it opened my eyes to a lot of things that maybe we're missing, because we do operate in our little bubble. Anyways, any questions? Anybody have any questions?
I'm really sad that I missed it.
Yeah.
Me too.
Hey, Noreen, do they do this annually? We're going to have another chance to go?
No. It's something that the group has done maybe every 3 to 4 years as the commissions change over and new members kind of come in. I think the last time that we did one was 2018, so 4 years ago. But I hope, maybe if there's enough interest amongst the county representatives, then we could consider doing one maybe in a couple years. But what I did want to say was that something that we've done historically is like a commissioner day workshop just with this group and with staff to kind of do some goal setting. I think now the commission is a little bit more established than we were at the beginning of this year with some newer commissioners. And so I think, early 2023 would be a really great time to come together as a group and kind of identify those top priorities and have some of these kind of working conversations, similar to what Lisa's referring to that she experienced through the commission workshop with other neighboring agency representatives. So I would love to encourage the commission to consider that in early 2023, and we can work through some of those kind of ideas and concepts, and potentially have an external facilitator come in and give some information as well.
Yeah.
Thanks, Noreen, and great report out, Lisa. Thank you.
Yeah, great report. Can we host one? Can we host other people to have them come to us?
We could.
That would be fun.
Yeah. I like that.
I absolutely think we should have a planning meeting in 2023. I think like the thing I've been thinking about the most is just that community center, the center that we have, and like how we can revitalize that. Like it's such a huge project. There's so much to do there, but I think we all agreed when we were taking that tour that that's just such a prime area. It's such a prime opportunity for us to really get to a lot of the things that came out in the survey that people want. And I have to say, I feel a little overwhelmed thinking about what needs to be done, but I think this kind of planning session could help us just articulate what that looks like step by step.
I agree. And I'm also really excited about all the new people we have on this group. Hang on just a second. I'm having text problems. Sorry. I think that everybody was just kind of finding their footing this last year and coming out of COVID, and we're all just kind of trying to figure out how we can get back into really planning some new programs and taking it in some directions. I know we have new people with new ideas, and I don't think that their voices have really been heard. So I would love to plan something in January if we could get that on the calendar. Maybe separate from this regular Park and Rec meeting. Yep. Okay. Is that it? I'm gonna say that's all for my workshop recap. Anything else, Noreen? Okay. So moving on, the next item is the ethics training for AB 1234, which is December 1st from 6 to 8 p.m.
That's correct. So all of you should have received a correspondence from Ingrid, our city clerk. This is a 2-year requirement for all elected and appointed officials. It's ethics and principles and laws training. So if you haven't attended within the last 2 years, it is mandatory. You will be provided a certificate of completion. If you're unable to attend, please let Ingrid know and CC me so that we can identify an alternate opportunity for you to receive the training. But it is required for all council members and planning commissioners and parks and recreation commissioners. So if you're unable to attend or if you didn't receive the email from Ingrid, please let me know. And it will be on Zoom.
Okay.
Okay. Does anyone have any comments about that? It is my birthday. I might.
Oh,
I know.
Oh, Lisa.
Is that how I really
Aw.
want to spend my birthday? Sorry. Probably. Okay.
You get to have a glass of wine with the session. so
Yes.
yeah.
And then I'll be with all of you. It'll be like a party. Here we go. All right. Let's move on to item number 9, which is report. I'm the chairperson. I don't have any report. How about subcommittees? The recreational facility subcommittees held their meeting on October 19th. Anyone want to give a report on that? Let's see.
Yeah, Tom and I met with Noreen and Nicole and Jovi, and we got an update on what Nicole's been up to. She's been with Brisbane less than a year, and she went through her facilities audit. I've actually got my notes from the night here. I'm going to give Nicole a plug now. Here are the things that she's audited: the community pool, community center, Mission Blue, Sunrise Room, community park, playground at community park, dog park, skate park, tot lot, birth park, the Parks and Recs modular facility, Crocker Park Trail, Quarry Road Trail, the marina, Mission Blue tennis courts, softball diamond, and volleyball courts. And Nicole, how many things did I miss?
You captured it. Thanks, Frank. That's awesome. Thank you.
Well done. So she walked us through the findings there. And Tom, if I leave anything out, feel free to jump in, of course. And then we talked through the survey results on the feedback that we received regarding facilities as a whole. And then Julie, you'll love to know this, that we talked about one of our priorities going forward, something we want to keep in front of mind for everybody is the community center and how we might just keep pursuing that and coming up with ideas and solutions around what we might turn that into going forward. So we just want to stay in front of City Council here in terms of the annual budgeting and make sure that if there are funds available that we get them earmarked for that. Tom, what did I miss?
Oh boy. Talked about the teen center a little bit, and
That's true.
ideas where that could go and the need for it. Didn't we talk about the repairing of the playground structure, and they're going to remove the sand, which is really, well, I thought that was interesting. The sand's going to actually have that last longer if we remove it. And the sand lot is up at up at Lippman at that other park. And so if kids still want sand and parents still want sand in their cars and their car pits, they can go hang out over there. I think we talked a lot about that, the old library, and ideas for that and kind of dreaming big dreams for that space.
Yeah, I agree. That was a hot topic.
What were some of the big dreams?
Well, the teen center came up, and kind of an indoor spot, but then we started thinking, oh man, that apartment complex is right there. And are they going to want kids playing music? And, I was thinking afterwards it'd be neat to have a retail spot for kids, to actually work a retail store and get some training as they get older, and maybe take Ron Davis's Madhouse out of business with a coffee shop. That probably won't work very well. Ron, if you see this, I was joking. and Madison as well. But yeah, that's what I remember, Frank.
Yeah, so it was a good discussion. And again, no strong takeaways, more just sort of feelings about that community center and the library. And we've just got to keep using our voice as a committee here and keep this front of mind for everyone. So Noreen, Nicole, did we miss anything?
I think you both captured it very well.
Oh, well, thank you.
Love it. I'm very impressed with the notes, like all the things you've done, Nicole. I'm impressed with Frank for just jotting them down, but you've actually done them. Like, it's amazing. And I do think, like, and I'm curious, and maybe this is something we discuss in January, but it seems like when we go in front of city council, if we had a vision and a plan of what that will look like, that could be really compelling.
Yes, and I know that we're hiring a consultant to come up with a plan as far as rehabbing the building, but I don't think that really gets, well, I don't know if it gets to the vision of what the space
Yeah.
can actually be used for, and maybe we could direct some of that energy that the consultant's going to be spending on visualizing some of the programs that we want to see working in that space. Maybe we can drive that a little more.
Yeah.
Okay, well, that sounds like a good meeting. The next meeting I have is the Festival of Lights Subcommittee meeting. That was held on November 3rd, just recently. Does anyone want to report on that?
Trudy, do you, or do you want me to do the honors? What's your thought?
You do the honors. You came out with tree wands. I'm giving you this one here.
So, we have an exciting plan. We are going to go back to kind of doing the caroling in person. And so that's really exciting. I think it's the first year since COVID. So we really want to build some momentum around that. We are looking into entertainment from Lippman's, so like having a choral or a choir or something like that. But we have some really fun stuff that the city's already lined up, like the toboggan for the kids, the kind of blow up toboggan for them to play in. And of course, we have a tree that was donated, which is just so fortunate and lucky that's amazing. So we'll have the tree that we can gather around, which will be kind of near the old tree.
Hey, Julie, can you
yeah.
tell us more about the tree, like some details about it? We're, inquiring minds want to know.
It's a retail tree that was donated to us. Noreen, you probably know more than I do, but it's a big tree.
It's a mall tree.
Yeah.
So we had a resident that approached us about his willingness through his company to donate the tree. It's a 20-foot artificial tree that's already pre-lit with ornaments on it. We just had to have staff haul it from Hayward, which Ricardo did. And it's being stored at the courtyard, and we're working with the Public Works team on the infrastructure needed to kind of secure it into place. We anticipate the week prior to Thanksgiving that we will begin the installation process, but it will have lights and ornaments and will be able to be lit up for the event in place of the traditional festival tree. So we're very grateful for the donation. And I think it will look really beautiful in the space.
Oh my gosh, that's great news, you guys. And by the
Yeah.
way, 20 feet is 2 stories. That's a ginormous tree.
Uh-huh.
And that has to be worth thousands upon thousands of dollars. That's
Yes.
amazing.
It is.
Mall trees are very expensive.
Very exciting, guys. Very exciting.
And how
Where
are
did it come from? Where did it come from?
It came from a company based out of the East Bay, and they manufacture trees for like malls and corporations and outdoor promenades. So this is their business, and they had a tree that was previously used by Century Theaters and no longer wanted because they upgraded to a 40-foot tree. So we benefited from their change of heart.
Has anyone
Awesome.
let Karen Cunningham know about this?
I think that our city manager did.
Okay.
that's gonna
Okay.
be
Sorry to interrupt, Julie.
No, I'm glad. It's good discussion. And just when we think about the tree, that we lost, and we are planting new trees, obviously. So it's kind of this getting us through this interim time. What I think is really beautiful about this story is how we took the old tree and we're creating discs that will be given out so that people will have like memorabilia on that tree that was really meaningful to the community for a very long time. And they're also creating a wooden bench from that tree that will sit in the park we're actually going to write a story in the next few days about the tree, just to kind of acknowledge the change and what we're doing. And I hope it's a very special year for people to rally around this new tree and kind of the first post COVID. Well, I don't even want to say that because COVID's still around, but you know what I mean. And we'll have the cookies and cocoa. And then we also, we had a conversation, and I say we, not me, but our Parks and Rec staff had a conversation with the DEI committee too, or the IDEA committee. And they talked about adding to the songbook. So we'll have some representative carols, maybe from other cultures, and looking at maybe decorating the cookies and cocoa stand with some other kind of decor representing different people celebrating different holidays, so that it's as inclusive as possible. I'm sure I missed some stuff. Trudy, what do you have? Anything?
You came up with the idea that we would have tree wands when we're walking down Visitation Avenue and when we're caroling. And I just love that idea. I just thought that'd be so special. We've always had something, and just think that would be really nice. And the toboggan, of course. And yeah, you covered it all, my dear. You covered it all.
I think it'll be a really special day. And I love it. It's just the year of the tree. It's the year of the tree.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. I like that. The year of the tree.
I'm just wondering how the heck they're going to tie it down so it doesn't blow over in the wind. I'm sure they have the technology.
Yeah.
That's a big tree.
Yes.
Is it going to be in the same spot, or it is? It's going to be in going to be in that spot. Oh, that'll be great. That'll be really beautiful.
Oh, and pictures in the gazebo with Santa.
Oh, wow.
That's right. Santa's going to be there.
Uh-huh. Yeah.
Very
I
exciting.
just noticed that. And whatever we missed, I'm sure Noreen knows. What did we miss, Noreen?
I think you guys did a great job capturing. The mayor and the volunteer of the year will flip the switch as they do traditionally. So I think it'll be a great event.
Great.
Looking forward to it.
Really looking forward to it.
Yeah, that'll
Great
be
job.
wonderful. Break out the Santa hat. Everybody
Yeah.
and sing some holiday songs. But I do agree. I think that being mindful of being more inclusive in our holiday celebrations could be a really good thing to aim for.
Yeah, definitely.
I mentioned in the art subcommittee that maybe we can have some art every Christmas that would replace the tree, that was inclusive to specific religions and themes, and they seem to really resonate with that. I thought that might be, instead of a tree, we do something else. Have an artist come up with another thing that we light up or we hang out with.
Yeah, I would love to broaden, right? And just it's a learning opportunity for people if they don't know about different holidays, to learn about them.
Yeah, but also having like a winter, gathering of the town, where people can come out at night with glowy things and lights. I just think that's a really fun, magical time, especially for kids.
Yeah.
Or what holiday you're celebrating. I think it'll be great. Just a really good gathering, a really fun gathering evening. It's always been a highlight of this town, just gathering at that time. Okay, our next item is the Sierra Point Master Plan Subcommittee meeting. That was held on the 7th. That was just a couple of days ago. So who is on that?
Just Trudy. From our commission.
I'm sorry, I keep coughing. That's why I keep stepping away. We toured the part of it, not the marina, the area next to the marina, I guess. And noticed how many parking lots there were. And then when we went back So we walked around and everybody just kind of like talked among themselves, but the gentleman from CMG and the woman that was with them, I can't remember their names now, they kept impressing on us how much the sea level is going to rise and how this whole project has to take that into account in every phase. So that was kind of startling, actually. I came home and got the measuring tape and went all the way up. I went, holy cow, what the erosion will be in 30 years. It was interesting. They're still, just getting ideas. I'm trying to think what else. And hold on a bit. Noreen, you were there. Can you kind of fill in, because you know more about what's going on the city side than I do?
Yeah, sure. So the consultants are kind of in between the completion of stage 1 or task 1, which they've named Discovery, which seeks to kind of identify the site constraints and do a full analysis and understanding of the scope of the project area and the limitations moving forward into the second phase, which is the exploration phase. And they will work to develop a few alternative concept design plans and framing for the site. That will go out to the public for input, as well as back to the subcommittee for input. We currently have a survey out, a public participation survey regarding how people interact currently with Sierra Point and how they vision its future over the next 20, 30, 40, 50 years. As Trudy mentioned, sea level rise is a huge part of this project and accounting for those variations over the next 20 to 50 years and how we integrate that into the design of the overall project. So the project is full speed ahead. We're into the second phase, which is very exciting, where we'll really gather input from the public and the community about what they would like to envision on the site and kind of develop some draft concept plans and move that forward. Because we are kind of coming up on the holidays, there will be a little bit of a lapse in the project, but the consultants will continue to work on their end, and then we'll pick back up with more advanced public engagement in the new year. We anticipate the final portion of the project taking place in mid to late spring and having the finished master plan go to City Council, hopefully by April or May. So that's kind of a sense of the project timeline, but that's the update there.
Thank you, Noreen.
And can I just ask a real basic question, but who is this is a commercial group that's developing this piece of land? No.
Oh, this is the city-owned parcels out at Sierra Point. So it borders the eastern end of Sierra Point, all from the north all the way to the south. Are city-owned parcels, and so we're looking to develop an open space and parks master plan for that full scope of the area. And CMG is the consultant that was selected by the subcommittee. So they're being contracted directly by the city to create this master plan.
Oh, okay. Yeah. All right. Well, that sounds really interesting.
But there is a hotel, right? And there's a hotel and restaurant, and it's not ours, but
that's not ours.
Yeah.
There's privately owned parcels adjacent to the city-owned parcels that are looking to be developed. They're owned by Baylands company, BDI. And so they're looking to develop a life sciences building as well as a hotel. And that would be adjacent to the city-owned parcels.
Got it. Okay.
And I should also add, so Trudy's the representative from Parks and Recreation Commission, but also on the project subcommittee are 2 city council members, a representative from the IDEA committee, a representative from Complete Streets, a representative from Open Space and Ecology, and a representative from Public Art.
So it's quite a crew walking around. It was interesting.
Okay. And then item D is setting subcommittee meetings. And since it's kind of the end of the year and we're going to be heading into the holidays and then starting new in the new year, are we just going to start planning for the new year of doing meetings? I can't imagine we're going to cram anything in December.
Yeah, historically, when the commission has elected to skip the December meeting due to the holidays and the city council's schedule, historically, what we've done is waited to schedule subcommittee meetings in the January meeting in the new year, unless there's anything time sensitive.
Yes.
Okay. So that's a good reminder for us to just kind of go over our list and try and figure out what our goals are for this next year, and then try and figure out what meetings we need to have. So while we're over the holidays, let's all just think about what committees we're on and where we want to go in the new year. I think that would be a good starting point in January.
Hey, Noreen, I already asked this question. I'm just blanking on what your response was. When is the budget sort of worked on and reviewed and finalized again?
So, well, it's usually adopted and in late spring. So by July 1, because that's the start of the new fiscal year. So usually it goes to city council for adoption in June, but the kind of working sessions start occurring, I would say, like February, March. So that would come to the commission for input within that time frame.
Got it. Thank you.
We'll make sure to incorporate that on the commission calendar when we create that in January.
Sounds good. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's primary for getting stuff done. Okay. Next on the reports is the commissioner report. Nope. Okay. Staff report.
I just have a few department report updates. So next weekend is our lifeguard certification and training class. It's November 18th through 20th. Registration is still open if people are interested. We also have registration open for Thanksgiving and winter camps. Thanksgiving camp seems to be filling up quickly, so that's a good thing. Our next parent night out event is on December 10th. That typically is a very popular one because people are doing holiday shopping or going to work holiday parties or just date nights. So that one tends to fill up. So anybody interested, register early. We have a gingerbread cookie workshop on December 17th. So coming up.
I'm there.
Yeah.
Where is that going to be at?
I think it's at the community center. Yeah, Nicole's nodding her head. So yes, community center.
Okay.
And then we're currently working internally on our next activity guide. So that will come out early December. Resident registration will be December 6th. Non-resident registration will be December 20th. And that guide will kind of span January through April. And then additional upcoming events, the Brisbane Chamber of Commerce has their Chamber Presents Mood Swings event that's happening at Mission Blue this Saturday night at 6:30. Madison was able to add a few additional tickets. So she was sold out a couple days ago, but we squeezed in a few more chairs. So now there's more tickets. If anybody's interested, get your tickets now. And the information is available on the Chamber of Commerce website with a link to the Eventbrite ticketing. We have our star decorating workshop next Friday. That will be held at Mission Blue. The deadline to register is Monday. Also, to put on your radar, BDW has their annual craft fair December 10th at Mission Blue from 11 to 4. And we will be hosting a holiday movie night. We'll be screening the movie Elf at Mission Blue on December 16th. So lots of festive events coming your way. And don't forget about Festival of Lights on Sunday, December 4th.
Oh my gosh. There's so many things. I'm writing it down. Star decorating and cookie decorating. Oh my gosh. But the star decorating you have to register for, right? By Monday.
Yes.
And what do you do? I mean, besides string lights on your star, what do you do?
Yeah, so the Chamber of Commerce provides the stars, and so you can come to the event and we'll provide kind of basic supplies to fasten lights or decorative ornamental things that you want to attach to your stars. We have different sizes ranging from 5 feet to 2 feet. So people can kind of select their star size. We will have cookies and cocoa and festive music playing. So yeah,
Okay.
and some star crafts for the kids as well.
Wow. And how much does that thing cost?
I think it's, correct me if I'm wrong, Nicole, I think it's $5 for kids and $10 for adults.
Ah, excellent.
Yeah.
Oh, that's great. Okay, wonderful. And the cookies sound fun. So many fun things.
And the craft fair is always really good. I've gone the last 2 years and I get some of my Christmas presents there. There's always
It's
a good
great.
array of
Brisbane
things.
Dance Workshop does a great job.
Yeah.
And the artists there that are really top notch.
Yeah.
They're definitely worthy.
Yeah.
Okay.
All I have.
All right. So moving on to commission matters, do we have any written communications?
We don't tonight.
Okay. Well, I guess that wraps it up for our Park and Rec Commission meeting. Thank you all for coming. Anything else? Any last thoughts? Happy Thanksgiving if I don't see you guys. And I will see you around for all the festivities for the holidays. Can't wait. And I'll see you all in the new year.
Bye-bye.
So
Hi, everyone.
we are
Thank-
adjourned.
Thank you. Happy Thanksgiving
you.
all.
Thank you.
Take care, everyone.
Bye-bye.
Thank you.
Bye.
Bye. Thank you.